Good afternoon and welcome to the Falcon Basketball Pregame Show. I'm your host Grady Lautenslager, and today I'm joined by Andrew Helkowski. Andrew, it's great to be here with you as always.
Of course, man. Happy to be here.
And we got a lot of basketball here to talk about here soon. But before we dive into this matchup, let's take a look at how each team performed in their last game. Looking at UMass, they played Ball State, losing by 74-73. What did you gather from that game, Andrew?
Definitely a disappointment, especially if you're UMass. They shot decently from the field, 38%. From three, they were pretty good, about 30%, and then shooting from the charity stripe, about 80%. They also rebounded the ball extremely well, with 49 total. They got 5 blocks on defense, but they did turn the ball over 14 times. From the Ball State side of things, they shot pretty similar from the field, about 36%. They were kind of weak from three, shooting about 21%, and then from the charity stripe, I think it was about 82%. They rebounded pretty well, similar to how UMass did with 41 rebounds, and they also got 6 steals. My takeaway from that one is UMass needs to be a little bit better shooting, and they need to limit turning the ball over.
I agree 100%. If they keep that rebounding, they should be just fine. Looking at BG and Western Michigan, BG took a loss 88-79. They're looking to bounce back here soon. What did you gather from that one, Andrew?
Really a very disappointing performance from the Falcons, especially since they played so well in the first half, shooting extremely efficiently, 46% from the field and 46% from three. But in the second half, really kind of a collapse, 38% from the field with only 25 from three. And shooting from the charity stripe in general, the whole game, it was not fantastic, only 66%. They missed 11 free throws, which is not where you want to be in a college basketball game. Western shot the ball very efficiently on the Falcons, 48% in the paint, 44 from three, which is exactly where you want to be, and then 87 from the charity stripes. They're really just taking their free points. And for me, I think Bowling Green needs to be more consistent and less hot and cold, and they have to make sure that they don't get behind.
I agree 100%. This is a team that plays way better ahead, and let's see if they can get it done in this game. Next, let's take it to Nate and Marisol here for our stat comparisons for both these teams.
Hey, yeah, thanks, Grady. So, comparing the teams statistically, it should make for a pretty interesting game today. Both BG and UMass are pretty close stat-wise. However, BG does have a slight to moderate lead on UMass on most stats.
That's right, Nate. The Falcons have a slight lead in their offense with about 82 points per game, compared to the Minutemen's 81 points. Now, on the defensive side, the Falcons have a larger lead. This season, BG has allowed about 71 points per game, while UMass has allowed about 77.
Yeah, and record-wise, the Falcons also have a lead. Overall, they currently have a 16-12 record, while UMass is just slightly behind with a 15-13 overall record. In the MAC, BG is ranked 6th, and they have a 7-9 conference record, while UMass is 8th with a 6-10 record. So record-wise, pretty close, but it is worth mentioning that with the MAC tournament coming up, UMass is just barely getting in right now, being 8th. You need to be in the top 8 to get in, but we'll, of course, talk more about that coming up later on. But Marisol, that's certainly something to keep in mind for today's game.
It certainly is, but looking at these stats, it should make for a very interesting game.
Yes, it will. All right, Grady, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, guys. That's great as always. Coming up next, we'll dive deeper into the series history of these two teams, including the most recent matchup earlier this season. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Falcon Basketball Pregame Show. Now let's take a look at the last time these two teams took the court against each other. It was an absolute electric basketball game, finishing 101-100. Unfortunately, UMass was able to get it done.
Javonte Campbell had an insane performance in that game with a whopping 47 points, and he connected from the field 13 times. He also had 6 defensive rebounds and 8 assists. Both teams shot the ball extremely well. Bowling Green 52% in the paint and UMass 56% in the paint. The Falcons did get out-rebounded 37-29 in that respect, but I think we can expect something similar here in this second matchup between the two.
I completely agree, and games like this, 101-100 points, that's 202 combined points between both teams. That had to be a great one to watch. Now let's get our thinking caps out for our Falcon basketball fans trivia question. Today's trivia question is, who has the most single-season records for BG. I'll give you a hint. It is not Rashawn Agee. Even though he has 3, including rebounding, it is not him. Do you have any guesses, Harry?
Not yet. I think I'll have to think about that for another minute.
Well, we'll take a look at that when we come back. Coming up, we'll take a look at some of the other games happening around the MAC, a look at the MAC standings, and have our impact players. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Dear moms and dads, we know it's not always been easy, and it's been a lot of hard work. What you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
Everything I do it for you.
Mom, love you all.
No, it's true. Everything I do it for
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Welcome back to the Falcon basketball pregame show. Let's have a look at some of our impact players for this matchup. Now, Andrew, like I said, a 202-point combined total game the last time these two took the court. I'm sure there are plenty of players out here who are ready, and the first one for UMass is Leonardo Bediol.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player. He shoots about 59% from the field, about 33 from beyond the arc. He has 17.6 points per game, and he averages about 8 rebounds per game. He's a fantastic key to that team's success.
Not to mention his size inside, standing at 6'9", is something that opposing defenses are going to fear. It's not only him either. They have Marcus Banks Jr. on their team as well, who has had a stellar season to this point.
He's another effective shooter, about 42% from the field and about 38 beyond the arc, so a little bit better than Bediol in that respect. He's got about 16.6 points per game, and he has 36 total steals on the season, so really just another key piece to that UMass team.
And this guy is shooting the lights out right now. He's going to be one to watch, and defense on him will be crucial. But don't worry, we got players for BG as well, one of them being Javonte Campbell.
Javonte Campbell is far and away the best player on this Bowling Green team. He's nearly 50% from the field, about 32 from 3, 18.6 points per game, but he has 91 total steals, which leads the country and is also a program record. The previous record was also held by Campbell, which was 90 steals, and that was last season. He's they're both their best offensive and defensive player. He's fantastic.
Yes, he is. And aside from that, he has, like you told me earlier, he dropped 47 points last time these two played. I think that's something they're going to be looking at, and I'm hoping he repeats as well. And lastly for BG, we got Meyer Wall.
Meyer Wall is by far their best shooter. He's 40.7% from the three-point margin, and he averages about 11 points per game. He's another extremely explosive offensive player that I'm sure the Falcons are going to want to get going in this matchup here.
Yes, he is. And when this guy gets it going, boy, is he hot. So this will be a fun one to watch. A lot of players competing, and it'll be a tight one tonight, just like last time. Now we're going to take a look at the keys of the game from Nate and Marisol.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Grady. Yes, it is time now for the Falcon 4 keys to today's game. We got 2 for BG and 2 for UMass.
So starting with the keys to the game for the Minutemen, they need to win the pace and offensive flow. Their average score is about nearly 81 points, slightly below the Falcons. UMass needs to push tempo off misses and move the ball, as they average 17.5 assists. Keep the pace fast, and the Minutemen can neutralize BG's defensive edge. Next key up, keep 3 points high. In their last meeting, the Minutemen had a 50% 3-point percentage, being 11 and 22, and they were taking more shots than BG, as the Falcons only had 7 and 17. If the Minutemen can continue to take open 3-pointers, they have a good shot at winning this game.
Yeah, and meanwhile for the Falcons, they first need to control the defensive end. BG has had a clear edge defensively, allowing about 72 points per game compared to UMass giving up nearly 77. The Falcons need to keep UMass out of the transition, contest threes and mid-range shots, and of course protect the paint, allowing the defense to force the Minutemen into the half court where they have struggled in their recent 5-game 4-game losing streak. That'll help the Falcons pull out a win. Second, BG needs to control the turnover battle. In the January meeting, UMass had 8 more turnovers than BG, 18-10. While forcing these turnovers, it is converting them into scoring chances. If the Falcons can limit these turnovers and protect the ball, it can improve their chances of winning today's game.
It will be interesting to see what each team decides to do to try and pull out a win today.
Yeah, it might be a pretty close one, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see. But yeah, Grady and Andrew, back to you guys over at the desk.
Coming up next, we'll have another look at our trivia question, and we'll take a look at the MAC standings. We'll be right back. Don't touch that remote.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back, Falcon fans. And now for the moment we've been waiting for all show, the answer to today's trivia question. The question was, who has the most single-season records for BG? And I gave you a hint, it wasn't Campbell, and I'll give you another one, it wasn't Agee. So you have the answer?
Could it have been Howie Comives?
Yes, it is. Take a look, he holds 6 records for Bowling Green, single season, all of them.
They were all set in the 63 to 64 season. His records include field goals, field goal attempts, free throws, free throw attempts, total points, and points per game.
Dude was an absolute baller. However, let's take a look at the MAC standings in this year's season. You have more on that, Andrew?
I do. Sitting on top of the MAC with their perfect season so far is the Miami Redhawks at 28-0 overall and 15-0 in conference play. They're also ranked 21st in the AP poll. Second place, we have the Akron Zips at 23-5 with a 14-1 conference record, another near perfect season for them. Kent State sitting at third place, 21-7 and a 12-3 conference record, another fantastic season. And then, of course, the Ohio Bobcats sitting here in fourth place, 15-13 overall, 9-6 in the conference. All 4 of those teams have clinched tournament spots. Sitting at fifth place now is the Toledo Rockets at 9-6 in the conference, and then right behind them is the Bowling Green Falcons at 7-9 in the conference. Buffalo sits between them and UMass at 7th place with a 6-9 conference record, and UMass sits at 6-10 in 8th place. And since the tournament only lets in 8 teams, they are right there on the bubble, trying to hold on to that spot to make sure they get in comfortably.
It's going to be an exciting one, exciting race to the finish. A lot of teams looking to make this playoff push. Speaking of all these teams, let's take a look at their matchups this week and give our picks. The first one is Central Michigan taking on Buffalo. Last time they played, it was a close game. However, I'm going to have to go with Buffalo on this one.
I think I'm going to agree with you there. Buffalo is a really good offensive team. They have 78 roughly points per game. They get about 7 steals per game, and their best scorer, Daniel Freitag, he has nearly 20 points per game. I think he'll be the factor here in this one.
What about you guys over there, Nate and Marisol?
Yeah, guys, I'm going with Buffalo, too. Just a much stronger team than Central Michigan, and also Buffalo's going to be at home today.
And I also picked Buffalo. They have a high steal rate of about 8, so if they keep those up, they have a fair shot of winning.
Next game, Ball State versus Northern Illinois University. I'm going to have to go with NIU on this one. I know they're closest in the standings. However, I think NIU is going to get the pull out in this victory.
Again, I agree with you. NIU is a really good team. They have 70 roughly points per game, and they get about 35 rebounds per game and about 13 assists per game. Really, you factor all those in, there's no reason NIU shouldn't win this one.
Yeah, I kind of gotta disagree with them being a good team. They're pretty far back in the MAC standings and with their record, but both teams are like that in this matchup. So I'm going with Northern Illinois, especially being at home. I think they can pull out the win over Ball State.
I also did Northern Illinois. I mean, they do have a 39.4 rebound rate, so if they keep those up, I think they could win.
third game we got is Toledo versus Ohio. We've seen Toledo play here in the Stroh Center earlier this year, and honestly, in my opinion, I think Toledo's a little bit shaky, not too consistent, and for that reason, I'm going to have to go with Ohio. It'll be close, right on top of each other, but what do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I like your sentiment there. I think it'll be a close, gritty game, and I think Ohio's defense is going to be the difference in this one. They got 3.5 blocks per game. I think Ohio's going to come away with the victory here.
Yeah, I'm going with Ohio too. I mean, record-wise, both almost very similar, but I feel like when I've seen both teams play, Ohio just seems stronger. You know, Toledo's Toledo. You gotta go with Ohio.
I mean, yeah, Toledo is Toledo, but I picked Toledo. So, I mean, they do have a higher point rate of 81.3, and, you know, maybe if they can just score more, I mean, they have a fair chance of winning as well. But, sorry, gotta root for the rival today.
In the second to last game, it's Miami and Western Michigan, and I mean, is this even a question at this point? We're talking about the only undefeated team left. 21st in the AP poll, I'm going Miami.
I mean, Miami is clearly the best team in the MAC. You know, like you said, 21st in the AP poll. I don't see any reason they shouldn't go undefeated this season.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, it's almost, if something happened, that'd be more shocking than when Western Michigan beat BG this week. But yeah, Miami is just such a good team. I really don't see how they can lose to Western Michigan without there being something crazy going on.
Yeah.
Like, it would, I don't know, the world would have to end almost.
That's what I said, Miami as well. I mean, they're undefeated. What else could we really say? I think they have a high chance of winning this game.
And lastly, the game we've all been waiting for, the one we've talked about all show, Bowling Green versus UMass. Last time they faced, 201 combined points. It's going to be another close one, another barn burner. I think Bowling Green takes this one, though.
Yet again, I agree with you. Bowling Green is a fantastic team offensively, even if their shooting percentage leaves a little bit to be desired. Bowling Green with about 81 points per game, 48% from the field, and they get exactly 10 steals per game. I think really Bowling Green's going to come away with a victory for the second time over the Minutemen this season.
Yeah, I think I'm the sending vote on this one. I'm going with UMass for this one, but I got logic behind it, okay? So, last matchup, both teams very close, 101-100, so both teams very close. When we compare the stats, again, both teams pretty close, just UMass slightly behind. But that gives UMass more to play for. UMass is at 8th right now in the MAC. They got more to go for because if they lose today, they are probably out of the tournament. I could very well see it. And also, we saw BG play terribly earlier this week, so coming off a game against a much lower opponent, I don't know, I see UMass getting the win today.
I did go for Bowling Green. I mean, I think it is really just going to come down to being a technical game, and if BG can keep up their keys to the game, I think they have a fair shot of winning.
I agree 100%. And that's all we have today for our Falcon basketball pregame show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me, Andrew.
Of course.
And thank you, Nate and Marisol. As always, have a great afternoon, and go Falcons.